Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to the Andy's Frozen Custard 300, our 25th and penultimate race of the regular season for the PCSRA Busch Series debut season. Getting ready to go racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. If you didn't tune into our Truck Series event here yesterday, we had a interesting race to say the least, and it's going to be interesting to what happens here in these 34 laps of racing. So should be interesting. Our truck race went calm and clean. What will our Busch race be like here today? Jay Green is on the pole position. Jay Green comes into this race ninth in the points. He has a nice big cushion, so even if he has two bad finishes, I think he'll be safe as far as making the playoffs is concerned. Brad Blackmon alongside, still looking for his first win on the season. He dropped 3 spots down to 17th in the points table. Emily Green in row two. It's looking very unlikely Emily Green's going to make the playoffs. She is 33rd in the points table. And she's like 45 points back of 25th in the standings. And Lucas Albon alongside of her. Albon comes into this race, dropped 5 spots down to 16th in the standings. You look at the rest of the starting lineup, couple of drivers starting at the rear of the field. We're going to have to keep an eye on them during the course of today's race. Let's get these cars rolling off, and we're going to go green flag racing here in 34 laps time here at the Texas Motor Speedway. After the crazy race we had at Martinsville last week, Azar Amirmoez is the points leader by 28 points over Annika Ricci. D Marquez is third in the standings, 58 points back. Malin Lee is fourth, 63 back. Danny Rant completes the top five in fifth. Then it's Azar Amirmoez, Blake Peppers, Landon Chang, Jay Green, and K Langeland, your top 10. Mathematically, it's going to be coming down to Azar Amirmoez or Annika Ricci that could win the regular season championship. I would not rule out Diego Marquez, but we'll have to see what happens in that juncture. 10 winners inside the top 25. Diego Marquez, Danny Rant would be the two that get in on points. Tony Lopez, I said he has been to victory lane. He has actually not been to victory lane this season. Or actually, he has, but he fell outside the top 25. He's only 4 points back of 25th in the standings. Bruno Wood is 28th in the points. He has a total of 20 points back. 22 back is Sally Ford, along with Bart Simpson. Riley Roblier is where green at Texas. Riley Roblier is 26 points back of 25th in the standings. Emily Green, it's looking very unlikely for her. She is a total, let's see, 192, that's 30, 41. She's 45 points back of 30th in the standings. And of course, Taylor Valley's not in the championship hunt. And also, Chloe Carmichael is so far back of 25th in the standings, it's looking very unlikely she's going to make the top 25 in the points. So she's trying to get another win just to go for pride as far as that's concerned. Jay Green currently the leader. He'll be in the playoffs. There's Tula Topola. There's Leela Bakai in the 43. And there's the driver we're going to keep an eye on, Riley Roblier. Bakai fell down to 18th in the points. She is a good total of 30 points ahead of 25th in the standings. So she would need a good run here to not only lock herself a spot into the playoffs, as far as trying to stay in the top 25, but also build enough safety cushion That way, if she has a poor result next week at 8 Bowl, she would be in the playoffs. Riley Roblier, on the flip side, needs a good run. Because it's either a good run or kiss your playoff hopes goodbye. Jay Green, the leader. Let's check back here at the rear of the field. Azar Amirmoez, even if he goes to victory lane, he will not make the playoffs. Kevin Lambert in the 18, having a okay season, 20th in points. He would be in a must-win situation. Bruno Wood, this is not where he needs to be. He needs to get going now, or he's going to kiss his playoff hopes goodbye. Let's see. Looking at the points here. Bart Simpson is 22 points, 20 back for Bruno Wood. Bruno Wood needs a good run, or he's going to be eliminated from the playoffs. Darby King, this is not where she needs to be. She is in 30th, and she's one of the drivers who comes in this race 22nd in points. She has a total of, if I do the points in my head here, she's 17 points ahead of 25th in the standings. Right now, she could not ill afford a poor finish. Let me see if Tony Lopez has won. No, he has not won. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought Tony Lopez won, but he hasn't, so. Drake Robertson. There's the points leader, Azar Amirmoez, and there's the gal who's trying to run her down for the points lead. There's another driver we also need to mention as I hit the wrong button. That's Liliana Bata. I hit the wrong button on my phone, that is. Liliana Bata comes in this race 21st in the points. Let's see. Darby King was 17. 21 points ahead of 25th in the standings is Liliana Bata. And there's last week's winner, Elizabeth Gardner, Indy 81 in the Bass Pro Shops 81 machine. She'll run the KFC colors for the regular season finale next week at 8 Bowl. I noticed all 10 of when I got the points for the truck series after yesterday's race, all 10 drivers that are inside the top 20 in points have won, so all 10 playoff spots are filled. So we're going to have a scenario like we're going to have tomorrow in the Winston Cup series. And that is, if Courtney Lynn is going to make the playoffs, she would need to do two things. One, need a good run tomorrow in the Winston Cup race to stay in the top 30 in the points to keep herself eligible for the playoffs. The other thing she's going to have to hope and pray for tomorrow is that a former winner goes to victory lane. She cannot have a new winner that is ahead of her in the points. So if I'm Courtney Lynn, I need a good run tomorrow in the Winston Cup race and try to stay in the top 30 in the points table. Of course, the Winston Cup race will be a little bit longer of a race. What a career season for Jay Green, for Tommy Baldwin Racing. Looking for his third win on the year. He's already inside the top 10 in points. And let's see, he has a very nice little cushion. So I can safely say Jay Green is locked into the playoffs, regardless what happens next week. Drake Robertson is locked in. S Hsu is locked in. I would probably say Elizabeth Gardner, with her win last week, is also locked into the playoffs as long as she has a good run. I think the people I'm going to be kind of worried about will be Pelekai, Bata, King. Those drivers trying to stay in the top 25 in points to have their win count for a playoff berth. And like I said, we've been talking about this a lot throughout the regular season. It doesn't matter if you have 5 wins. It doesn't matter if you have 10 wins. If you're not in the top 25 in points, by the time we get to the regular season checker flag, you are not going to make the playoffs. So I'd be nervous if I'm Bata, King, Gardner, well, let's see. Yeah. If I'm Bata and King, I'd be concerned. By the way, all 40 did take the start, so that's good. Let's see. But Kai is running 10th. Riley Roblier, excuse me. I almost said Robbie. I don't know why I said that. Riley Roblier, 31st in the points. Let me look here. He has 26 points back of 25th in the standings. And he's running in 10th. A good result for Jay Green in the 6th as we're going to check the back of the field here. Chloe Carmichael has been recently eliminated from the playoffs. Darby King looks like this is going to be trouble for her. Annika Ricci, 2nd in points, not having a good run. And Bruno Wood, I'm kind of concerned about this. 29th he's running, and I don't see Bruno Wood making the playoffs unless he has a good result. Bart Simpson, 23rd. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be enough. There's Azar Amirmoez, the points leader. A lot of drivers running well in points, not having a good run. And there's Liliana Bata. She is on the desperation. She would like to make the playoffs. And Liliana said to herself, if I'm going to make the playoffs, I have to have a good result. It's now or never for her. She's racing like this is for real. Well, I have to see where Sally Ford's going to situate all of this after today's race. Brad Blackmon trying to make the playoffs. If you're Jay Green, you're already in the playoffs and you have a nice little cushion. All you're doing is just trying to get a couple of more wins before the reformatted playoff standings. Brad Blackmon, on the other hand, is trying to go to victory lane for the first time this season to join Lucy Myers. And I also would say Lucy Myers is another driver who is somewhat safe because she has more than a full race lead on 25th in the standings. We're going to be down to 10 laps to go in this race. Jay Green trying to go to victory lane for the 3rd time. Be another 5 extra playoff points. He's inside the top 10. I don't think he can win the regular season championship. But more playoff points could be the factor of if you're going to battle for the championship or not when we have one more race to go. Bates is up to 13th. Gardner 15th. Or no, 16th, sorry. Don't know if Bart Simpson's going to make the playoffs. It's going to be close. Maylin Lee, I don't think Maylin Lee should worry about a poor result because She's high enough in points. I don't think she'll fall outside the top 20 in point, or 25 in points, excuse me. I think Bruno Wood's playoff hopes are probably going to be done, and Noah Parker's in last place. Almost won last week at Martinsville, made that mistake, allowed Elizabeth Gardner to pass him, and that right there might have been the difference between Noah Parker possibly racing for a championship and not making the playoffs. Jay Green trying to hold off the Cellular One Chevrolet out of Nemco Motorsports. Four to go. Jay Green trying his best to hold him off. It's almost like what I talked about with Olivia Jackson a couple of weeks ago. Trying to hold off another driver. It was actually Anna Crenshaw I was talking about in the Winston Cup race a couple of weeks ago at Loudon. Three to go. Two laps to go. Brad Blackmon has got to find a way to get around the six. Jula Topola having a good run. Riley Roblier, Sally Ford. Lila Akai having a good run. And where did Beta go? Oh, she fell all the way back to 21st. She's going to have to catch up. Brad Blackmon makes the move. But did he make it too early? White flag is in the air. One more lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Tula Topola's there. I don't think Tula Topola cares if he's not in the playoffs. He's just trying to get as much experience as he can for next season. Off of 3 and 4, Brad Blackmon, last second pass like last week at Martinsville. Brad Blackmon will win the Andes Frozen Custard 300. And Brad Blackmon, I believe, with him in 17th in points, he's probably going playoff hunting. He is no doubt going to make the playoffs, regardless what happens next week at April. Excuse me. Oh, what a race! Now you know why I replaced Bristol with this. Jay Green's so close to his third win, but a second will do. We'll see him in the playoffs. Tula Topola third. Emily Green got fourth. I wonder if it's too little too late for Emily Green. But a good result nevertheless. 33rd in the points, so nice job. Riley Roblier needed a good run. Where is fourth going to situate him after today? We're going to have to wait and see. Justin Hugo 6th. Sally Ford 7th. Where will this situate the 38 entering next week? Morgan LeFay, got 8. Jake Littleton came in that critical 25th position. The points gets 9th. And 10th is Kyle Langeland. Lila Bakai 12th. I think 12th might have just saved L Pelekai from being eliminated from making the playoffs. That's good for her. She might be in. Bart Simpson, 14th. Where will this situate him heading into next week's race? Elizabeth Gardner, 1 week removed from her first win of the year, 16th, right in front of her teammate Malin Lee. Liliana Bates at 21st. I don't know. That's going to be close for Liliana Bates. We'll have to see. Lucy Myers was 12th in points. I think she definitely could ill afford a poor finish with 24. Darby King, 26. Oh boy, where's this going to situate her after this? Drake Robertson didn't have a good result. As you look on down to the remainder of the finishing results. Azar Amirmoez came home 25th. She was your points leader. Annika Ricci, 32nd, came as race second in points. So where is this going to situate these two ladies after today? And has Azar Amirmoez might have locked up the regular season championship. We're going to have to wait and see about that. Chloe Carmichael, who was already eliminated from the playoffs, 34th. Bruno Wood, I think that might have just ended his chances of making the playoffs, regardless of what happens next week at 8 Bowl with a 36th place finish. Katsuro and Makar Amirmoez round out your 40-car field. Nobody finished a lap down, and we've had 2 caution-free races this weekend here for trucks and Busch. But I seriously doubt we're going to get away with a caution in tomorrow's Winston Cup race here as we get you ready for the Echo Park Automotive 400. But getting ready to say thank you for you guys for watching today's race. Congratulations to Brad Blackmon. He will be playoff hunting. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description. Keep an eye on that points battle between the points leader and those above 25th in the standings, because it's going to get really shaky going into next week. We cap off Texas with the Winston Cup race here at Texas, and then next week all 3 series will be at 3 different tracks. We'll have trucks at Daytona, Busch at 8 Bowl, and Winston Cup from Mansfield. Hope you'll join us for that. Until then, I've been D Devil signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cup races. You've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, where champions are made since 2010, and 15 years as the best center racing around the world since 2017.